Hello everyone, and welcome back to WebTales. We have made some changes to our video style with some nice gameplay and background. Hope you like it. Anyways, let's dive into our first story. My wife told her friend she doesn't love me more than her ex, and that I was her second option. Hello Reddit. Thanks for coming by because I certainly need all the help I can get. I've spoken to some of my closest friends and family about this, and the opinion is pretty mixed, so I figured I'd come here to get a more impartial opinion. I'm devastated and I don't know what to do. Here are the facts. My wife Sarah is the love of my life. OP is 33 and his wife 32. She's a woman of charm, grace, beauty, and accomplishment. I met her through mutual friends 6 years ago who thought that we'd be a good fit. At first, Sarah didn't seem to be too impressed with me, but as we chatted, she warmed up to me, and we even exchanged numbers. We went on a date and had an amazing time. That turned into another date, which turned into us dating and then eventually marriage. Sarah is such a warm, caring person who helped me through some tough times and was always there to pick me up, dust me off, pat me on the back, and help me forward. I thought she would be the woman I'd raise a family with and grow old together with, but maybe that isn't the case. Last week, I was clearing our driveway from snow when I came back in the house to take a piss and overheard a phone conversation between Sarah and a friend of hers. Our house is very echoey, and I don't think she realized I was in the house because she thought I was still clearing the driveway. Recently, her friend broke up with her long-term boyfriend because she didn't feel like they were a long-term match. That's when Sarah said, unprompted, and I quote because it was burned into my brain, "I mean, it's a good thing you did this now. You don't want to end up with your second or third option like I did." I swear I thought she was joking, but from the tone of her voice, I could tell that she wasn't. Something told me to pull out my phone and record, so I did. The conversation continued with her saying, "He's not the love of my life, but I do love him. And I guess the most damning of them all. If Paul, her ex, wasn't so terrified of marriage, I'd probably still be with him." She did conclude by saying that she really did love me, but it wasn't head over heels love, and that she thought I was a great husband and would be a good father someday. I have this all on recording. I was confused and flustered in that moment that I forgot I had to pee and went back outside to continue clearing the driveway. Inside, I was destroyed. I felt like a zombie just going through the motions. When I finished up, I went back inside and I finally looked at her, and I just felt empty. She smiled at me, but I didn't give her one back. She asked me what was wrong, so I just told her I was sick. That night, I just stuck to myself and didn't say much. The next day, over some beers, I asked my best friends in the world, 33 male, 34 female, what they thought of the recording, and they immediately said to divorce. My friend Ashley, 34 female, said, "If a woman admits that she doesn't love you more than her ex, there's nothing more to say." A day later, I brought this to my sister and parents, who took the opposite approach. They said I should listen to her words carefully, and that she said she does love me, that she chose to commit to me, and that even though I'm not her soulmate, I shouldn't take commitment and an admission of love so lightly. I've been faking being okay at home, and I don't think I can keep up the act much longer. She's been extremely suspicious since that day and constantly asks me if anything is wrong. I have no idea what to do, but I know I need to make a decision soon. Can you guys see anything here that I can't? Should I give Sarah a chance? Do you think she really loves me? TLDR. Accidentally overhear my wife saying I was her backup option. Probably wouldn't be with me if X would commit and that I'm not the love of her life. So, you're not only her second or third choice, but she also regrets settling with you. She's just with you for the comfort you provide and will leave at the first sight when her ex returns to her life. I'd say confront her, but she'll probably lie or blame you somehow. Start preparing for a divorce. There's no point in saving this marriage, which was already doomed from the start. Good luck, OP. Now to the second story. Wife cheated on me and ended her life. This happened in April of 2022. My wife had lots of issues with depression. We had a lot of ups and downs in our 5 years together. We had been married about 2 years when I found out she cheated on me with an old high school friend. At first, she told me it was only over text, but a few days later, she confessed to it being physical. I immediately packed some things and went and stayed with family after she told me about the texting aspect of this. After 2 days of her begging me to come back, I went back to our house where she was still staying to get more things. I only packed a small backpack in the heat of things. I got there and it immediately turned toxic and I left. We had 2 dogs, no kids, thankfully. So part of the reason I wanted to get things was also to check on our dogs. After that visit, I told her I wanted her out of the house by the end of the next day. The next day came along and she was found dead. She overdosed on all her meds. I've been going to therapy for about a year now, and I still feel a decent bit of guilt and sadness on how it all ended. Her family hates me for her death. We have no contact, and that part still bothers me a lot. They hate me for finding a new relationship and new life about a year later. I am happy in my new relationship. We just moved in together recently, but the trauma still negatively impacts my life almost daily, including my current relationship. I suffer from a lot of anxiety, depression, and self-image issues now from the past few years. I'm missing lots of details, but there's still not a lot of closure. Am I the a-hole for trying to move on and be happy after the worst 2 years of my life? TLDR. Wife cheated on me, then ended her life 2 days after I found out. Dogs are healthy and loving life, living with my brother and his family. Edit clarifications. I didn't kick her out of our house. I asked her to stay with parents while we figured the next steps. I also did not leave her alone. Her brother was with her 2 of the 3 days before her death. I would say, not the a-hole. Cheating is a deal breaker. What she did was wrong, but she didn't deserve that. Her issues were probably caused by her family's neglect in childhood. Now, they are blaming you to absolve themselves of any responsibility and protect her image. You suffered for 2 years. You deserve to be happy and move on. Cut them off and live your life. Now to the third story titled, I abandoned my family because my daughter knew about my wife affair for money. I will keep this as short as possible, but basically I'm a 43 male. I got my childhood sweetheart 43 female pregnant and had my daughter 25 female. She was considered a miracle child because the pregnancy was that difficult for my wife that she was never able to have kids again, which sucked, but it worked out perfectly in the end. My daughter was incredible. Now, 2023 comes. My wife cheated on me with a friend of hers, which I discovered by signing into her Facebook. Invasion of privacy, I know, but curiosity struck. And I'm saying this out of pure hatred, but he was an ugly a-hole. But he had one thing, money. I immediately called my daughter and persuaded her to come to our house as it was urgent. And she was quite nervous, which was quite strange, but now looking back, I'm assuming my wife found out I knew about the affair somehow, some way, and told her. She arrives at our house, and I confronted my wife, and she didn't deny anything, heartless in fact, and she scolded me for having no affection, lacking intimacy, and to be honest, she was right. But I was trying to achieve our goal, early retirement. My daughter could have kept quiet, but she scolded my wife for cheating and called her a hoe, and while she isn't wrong, it caused my wife to expose her. My wife stated that she's had an affair since the pandemic ended, and my daughter discovered an affair partner gave her lots of money to keep her quiet. She tried apologizing, but it wasn't enough. I was heartbroken. My daughter meant everything to me and my wife, and they destroyed me. So I just left the house, waited for nightfall, ignored every phone call from my daughter, and came back, packed up my clothes, and left. I expected my wife to be home, but she went out probably to be with a affair partner. Now, while I have lost my family, I still have my wife's share of our early retirement, which she can't get her hands on, so I now have lots of money to splash, and I guess I can try and start all over. I have also blocked my daughter and my wife. I don't want any association with them. OP, if you're in the US, which I hope is not the case, I'm afraid you might have to split your retirement fund with your wife. Now to the update. Hello everyone. Once again, I will try to make this post as short as possible, so here we go. So in the previous post, the comments mentioned that I should hear my daughter out, and while I was reluctant at first, I wanted closure. I wanted to understand why she betrayed me. So I unblocked her contact, and I messaged her and asked to meet her at Starbucks just to talk. She tried calling me, but I refused to answer. I just wanted to meet her potentially for the last time. Day later, we meet at Starbucks. She tried hugging me, but I refused, although I did want to initially. When we sat down, I went straight to business and asked why she protected her mom affair. She replied, I don't know, but I stated to her, you know why, but you refused to admit it, and she finally cracked. She admitted that when her mom met affair partner, she was struggling financially due to university, and when she discovered the affair, she was going to tell me, but affair partner told her to keep her mouth shut in exchange for money. With the money that affair partner gave, she was in a better situation financially and mentally, and at that point I got pissed. She treating him like some sort of saint, some sort of hero, so I broke down in Starbucks in the public. And I asked her why she didn't ask me for help, and she was speechless. I then asked why you didn't take the money and still tell me. A comment mentioned that. And she finally stated that she doesn't know. She asked me if we could ever have a relationship, and I said, not for a long time. I don't think I can ever trust you again. Before I left my house, I took a picture frame of me and my daughter when she was younger, as a reminder of the good days, and I gave it back to her, and she started breaking down. So that's that. From everything that has unfolded, a famous quote from an old favorite game of mine has came true in my life. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. It sucks being betrayed by your own family. I don't blame you if you want nothing to do with your daughter. She preferred money over you, her own dad. She sold you out. She can get her mom's affair partner to play her daddy. And that's it for today. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss out. Until next time, take care and bye.